Listen, you said that there was no way you could have made her go missing, right? Because you were in jail. You were in jail.
Yes,
There's
sir.
no way. Rock solid alibi.
Yes.
The problem.
There's internet right-wing comedian Mersh calling out Teddy for contradictions in everything he's saying.
When I started talking to Fred, and I get a couple little criticisms about Fred too. I'm a little butthurt that Fred referred to me as a a right-wing comedian. I don't know where that came from. I had hours and hours of fucking Zoom meetings with this guy, and we never talked politics. I didn't like the little right-wing politician, a right-wing comedian. I'm like, well, I'm just kind of funny. I'm kind of fun. I mean, yeah, all right, fine, I lean right, but I'm not a right-wing comedian. I'm just kind of a funny guy. I'm a shit poster. I like Fred and I like Matt. I don't think there's any beef there. It was just, I don't know, hearing the right-wing comedian thing, I didn't like that. That's just the one thing that rubbed me the fucking wrong way, because it was like, what the fuck does that have to do with anything? I could be funny. I make fun of right-wingers all the time. How many times have I gone after Gavin and Owen Benjamin and shit? I'm not fucking right-wing comedian. I'm just a comedian who wants to keep his guns and shit. I had to comment on the Teddy Hart documentary, which, as you guys know, I finished up the show on Wednesday. I did not, or Tuesday rather. I did not see the documentary by the time I had ended the show that night. It took me time to go see the whole thing. I've had some conversations with people who are involved in this whole thing. And I'm not the only one, but I am one of several people who is extremely displeased with sort of the finished product of this documentary. I know the Reddit trannies are going to run wild with this and be like, oh, Mersh is crying. He wasn't in enough of the documentary. It has nothing to do with even my presence in said documentary, but there was a lot of shit left out. There was a lot of shit intentionally kind of blurred a little bit. And there was a lot of weird little shit with this whole fucking thing. And I'm still processing it. I've had other people I've talked to that at first were very excited and then have come to me and been like, what the fuck? I will, without getting specific, I will address this another time down the road. I just want to say that I am very much not a fan of Frederick Kroetsch, the director of this thing. This is how fucking much of a piece of shit this guy Frederick is. By the way, this isn't about Teddy Hart. This is about Frederick, the guy who made the documentary. He's a piece of shit. The documentary, I told you guys early on, was not presented in a way that was honest. It was not, I don't want to get into too much detail, but the amount of work I did to help these guys in earnest, because I thought that they wanted to figure out what happened, and I thought they wanted to really do like chase something down. It turned out that's not what they wanted. They wanted me to go chase down salacious fucking rumors and innuendo. They wanted me to go dig up little tidbits for them that they could sensationalize. And the real story is going to come out. The real story is going to come out. And I'll tell you, remember a couple months ago I told you that I had it on good authority. Well, I know I had it on good authority because I signed one of these NDAs, but we signed NDAs. We signed NDAs that had a limited time frame. So I told you guys, this is, trust me, like this is going to be, a couple months ago I said, I'm already hearing the rumblings. It's coming. A storm is coming when these NDAs are up. Well, the NDAs are up. And guess who April and Jamie insist handles a panel discussion about this documentary? boy. Something's going to be coming, and it's going to be on Nightwave, and it's going to be interesting because they fucking are disgusted, they're fed up, and they're pissed off. And the only one historically that has been the most fuck you, I'll say whatever I want and tell everybody what's really happening guy has been me. This was a guy, Frederick, the guy that's in the documentary. The guy that's like, I'm sincere and Canadian, eh? I'm just worried about what happened to Sam, eh? And I fell for it. I fell for it because he was a broke-ass indie filmmaker still living with his mom. I believed it because I was like, wow, you seem like you believe it. Like, but this was not a big money deal. I wasn't promised anything up front. There was no promises. It was just, we want to figure out what happened. And then I worked as basically a free producer and a free researcher for these assholes. It's kind of shameful and it's shitty. I feel used, and these three ladies feel used. And you know what? Out of the four of us, I'm the least angry. Hell hath no fear. Hell hath hath no wrath like the fucking like a woman scorned. Well, when there's three of them, and then you just have a petty Irish fuck who wants content, it's not going to go your way, bud. I got paid fucking, I gotta check the NDA because I don't know if I can say the amount even after the NDA expires, but whatever. I got paid okay money. It was enough money to not complain, but not enough to not complain now that we saw how the final edit went. I didn't realize, and I'm not accusing anybody of anything, but if I find it highly dubious and suspicious that the Rolling Stone guy made every single point that I made at the end of my interview, literally answered the last question, almost word for word how I answered it. And somehow he got on, they used him. And then I get the right-wing comedian thing too, which I'll fucking, by the way, Fred, look at me right now, bro. Look at me, dog. Don't come in a room with me. Like, don't ever be in, like, it's inadvisable. I'll put it this way, Frederick, because I don't want you to feel like, you know, I'm sending any, I'm not threatening people. I don't threaten people, and I'm not a tough guy, and I'm not doing that. But I will say this. I will give you just a little piece of advice. If you ever see me, like if we're ever both in Vegas or New York or somewhere at the same time, and you see me and you look at and you go, oh, that's Mersh. You know what? I'm going to go try to bury the hatchet and use my simpleton farmhouse Winnipeg Canadian charms to try to, you know, bury the hatchet with them. Do not approach me. And I don't think that's a threat, right? By terms of service standards. What I'm saying is, Frederick, is that I'll put it this way. If you and I locked eyes in Vegas and I saw you and you saw me, I can promise you I'll keep walking. Because I don't seek that kind of shit out of my life. I don't. If I see somebody where there's a deep fucking beef right there and it's going to get physical, it doesn't have anything to do with whether or not I think I could kick your ass or I think you could kick my ass. It has everything to do with conflict avoidance. I don't want to go to jail. I don't want to fuck my life up. And I certainly don't want to go to jail in places I don't live. I'm just telling you that when I see you in public anywhere, I'm not coming up to you and I'm not saying hello and I'm not burying the hatchet. I'm also not going to fuck you up. But I'm also saying that you should do what I do. Take my mentality. If you see me, just put your fucking head down. Put your fucking head down and keep walking. It's advisable. That's all I'm going to say.